Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play awesome tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, which I've expanded into early Sunday because Saturday somewhere in the world, right? Anyway, Star Wars Saturdays is my ongoing anthology campaign where I tell lots of stories with members of the Gauntlet community set in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. Each month, I choose a different RPG system. Some of them are repeats from previous months, like this one. I offer it up to the Gauntlet, and through their RSVP process, all kinds of new folks come in. I'm very blessed that I have repeats from time to time, so we get to have recurring characters, which is fun. We get to see them in different systems, which is even more fun as we see how a system shapes or evolves a particular character. It changes how they interact with the galaxy. This is Bounty of the Week, which I'm jokingly calling second edition because I've never published it because it's Star Wars is all get out, so I can't. It is a hack of Monster of the Week, an excellent game published by Evil Hat, written by Michael Sands. Now, Monster of the Week is kind of a supernatural meets Buffy meets Hellboy meets X-Files, all mixed up into a blender, amazing genre emulation engine for monster hunters in a semi-modern setting against the supernatural. I have reskinned it and then hacked in some new rules to try to emulate something more along the lines of bounty hunters, as you may have seen in Empire Strikes Back, or if you've watched the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus, or if you've read a lot of comics. In fact, there's even a really cool comic series going on right now about a bunch of bounty hunters, and there was a surprise reappearance from a person from the Solo movie, which made me squee. So that's a cool thing. It's real cool. It's about Han Solo. So yay. Anyway, so Bounty of the Week, everybody's playing bounty hunters. And so there will be some violence in this game. I consider it like a PG-13 pushing into an R. We'll see where we end up. We do have some safety tools. We have lines, veils. Lines are things that we're not going to have in our content unless someone makes a mistake, and we'll talk about how we handle that in just a second. We have veils, which are things we're okay if it happens, but we're not going to shine a spotlight on it. We'll just quickly do a screen wipe that you might see from Star Wars, or a fade to black with some crazy kind of Bith music playing in the background. And then ask first is just, hey, it's contextual. We as players agree before we introduce that particular type of content. We'll talk like to players, like we'll like drop out a character and say, hey, I'm thinking about this thing. Is this cool with everybody? And if any one of us says, can you try it a different way? Then we will. And then that thing that I talked about, if we hit a line, or if there's something that we didn't think to put a line on, or for whatever reason, a name, a situation makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel like, I really can't, I don't want to be in this thing that's going on right here. Then you have the X card, which is the trump card, as it were, in a good way, that allows us to make sure that we have that escape valve. The X card is a wonderful tool. It is a very blunt instrument in that when you X card, we're going to pause play for a moment. I'll check in with you to make sure everything's cool, not to talk out, just to like, hey, what do you need? If somebody, sometimes, X card can be something that's problematic. It could be just a thing of like, this is just weird. Whatever reason you need, you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain what's going on vis-a-vis why you've X-carded. I may ask though, hey, what was it? Just to confirm, is this the thing that we X-carded? And then it's gone. It's excised from our play. No harm, no foul. And we have, as I count here, 5 amazingly talented, creative individuals. I guarantee that whatever has been X-carded is not going to be an impediment to our continued pretend fun times, actual fun times, playing pretend in Star Wars. So don't worry about it. And then the last thing I'll say about X-card before we start to introduce all of our wonderful players and characters is that if you start off and I've done this, so this is why I always talk about this. If you start off and you're like, that was weird, but I'm going to let it ride. I think I'm okay. I'm not even in this scene. And then a few minutes later, you're like, yeah, I really should have done something 5 minutes ago about this thing because it's starting to bother me. you can still X card. You have not obviated the ability, right? Just because it's quote unquote in our canon. I mean, if Disney can buy Star Wars and shave off everything that wasn't the movies, we can change stuff in our canon too. It's totally cool. So don't feel like you're stuck in something just because you didn't hit it right off the bat. So that's all of that big spiel. Now we're going to do the really fun stuff. We are going to start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the right, which means that Greg, you are first up, buddy. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about your wonderful character.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Greg Gelder. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Zop Books again, who also uses he, him pronouns. Zop is a Rhodian. He originated a few games ago on an impulse drive as a bounty hunter who showed up and added to the crew. He's got several earrings attached to one of his ears, and they may or may not be tied to particularly significant bounties of himself. He is obsessed with Rhodian opera. Rhodian opera is, in my mind, canon, where they, as a species, the Rhodians perform these large, complicated operas with actual combat in them. And it's part of the reason that they make such excellent bounty hunters. He is a member of the Tanwa clan, who is an ancient hunting tradition that comes from the Knight playbook in Bounty of the Week. So he is tied to them, and they more than occasionally ask him to do terrible things that are not in the interest of the greater party. Yeah, in fact, reading through the Bounty Hunter Creed just a little bit ago, I was like, oh, I think Zop disagrees with pretty much every part of this, but that's okay. He's really on your side. Don't worry about it.
It's a creed I've sworn to, but like I had my fingers crossed behind my back.
Yeah. Zop gets himself in real pickles all the time, mostly of his own doing. I think what else? I think that's pretty much it. As part of the night, I have just like a boatload of weapons, and I am tied to that ancient hunting tradition, which uses the charm skill, which Zop is not good at. So,
and the Tanwa clan, do they have a particular species? Like, is this a Rhodian thing? Or?
I think we've established that it's not. You don't have to be Rhodian. It started as a Rhodian, but it is not exclusively Rhodian. No.
Awesome. Yeah, and when we say Tanwa clan, we're not. There's a Tanwa clan on Coruscant.
Yes, the Jawa clan.
The two get occasionally. Yes, yeah, the two get mixed up, which is wonderful and delightful, and doesn't cause people to get shot ever.
Nope.
Thank you so much, Greg. I am very excited to have Zop back. Next up is Will.
Hi, my name is Will. Pronouns he, him, as are those of my character Vanagandir, who is known more colloquially as Van to the citizens of the galaxy. And Van is from a sort of backwater planet that was is part of Zinja's empire now, and was previously, just part of the empire. And he was a good citizen, but his family and his friends were taken away by an imperial for supposedly dissension and everything. And he was a good little boy and thought keep to the rules and everything. And then one day the old crazy old woman, not a crazy old man who lives out in the desert, but a crazy old woman who lived out in the swamps of Porthos X, told him the truth, that the imperial lieutenant had actually sold them to slavers for profit, and that the rules were a lie, that peace was a lie. There is only passion, and if you want justice, then she can show you how. And so Van now travels the stars, looking to identify and find the Imperial who got rid of his family, and growing ever more into these strange dark side that he seems to have. I think mostly that kind of manifests under times of stress rather than like Jedi type things, but he does always seem to know when someone's lying to him, good thoughts, intentions, and blah blah blah.
Oh, so delightful. Yes, the sensitive, which from Monster of the Week is the spooky, does literally have a dark side that talks to him, to
And
them. So
I went for paranoia, rage, and guilt because they seem to be the closest to fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
yes, I love that you've got that right there. So I've got a mantra to push towards. Perfect. Excellent work. Thank you, Will. Next up is a returning player from last month's Bounty of the Week, Danielle.
Yes, my name is Danielle, pronoun she, her, as are my characters, Winnie Kessick, who goes by Win. She is, as I put in the description, probably the closest thing Star Wars has to a roller derby girl. I think she has a rocket skate team on Black Orchard, which was fledgling in the last series and hadn't quite found a spot, and by the end had been able to finally secure a stadium for their rocket skate arena, provided that they always be promoting Larce's brand, the owner, the somewhat reclusive owner who's into racing of Black Orchard. So she is, probably on missions wearing her branded, jacket. Still not super cool about that. So I think but she got into bounty hunting by accidentally saving someone from a bounty, and then realized that, like, while things were up in the air with this was a great way for her to kind of like make money. And also she grew up on Aldivi, which is a planet in the Zinja Empire. Thank you, Rich, for finding that for me. Which is kind of like a farm world that underwent some, obviously like bad stuff. But she heard about bounty hunters, kind of like the glamour of it, kind of tucked it away, and now is one herself. So right now she is kind of like looking for the next thing, potentially seeing if there's a way to after you when you get what you want, you're like, this is not exactly what I actually wanted. Let's do the next thing. So but she really loves bounty hunting and the way, the creative problem solving. She's still, as the trainee, a lot of her moves are very like, oops, I did a thing, and like, I want to do a thing, and I really want to help everyone out and be a team and go us. So she has a tiny bit of the naivete rubbed off her, but not entirely. So she is still out here to have a good time and see the galaxy.
And shoot folks, right, with
And
blasters.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. Last but certainly not least is Sawyer.
Hey, I am Sawyer, aka Ferret. I use whatever pronouns you have. I'm not picky. And I am going to be playing Yuka the Wronged, also known as Van. No. But she grew up. What I'm imagining is like in this farming commune that was actually run by the Hutt cartel. They were growing this plant that was very, I'd say, weak. Like it gets overtaken easily by other plants. Like if it doesn't have enough shade or sunlight, it's really picky, and they were strengthening it, only to find out that the plant they strengthened is a drug plant for the Hutts. When the Hutts came to get their results and burn everything else to the ground, leading to a complete and utter destruction of the biodiversity of the area. Yuka was not okay. There was maybe a blaster around when there are Hutts and the Hutt cartel. That's not going to help you much. So she was directed to gather as many seeds as she could and to escape while the others fell with the garden. She has come to cultivate the seeds that she has to be much stronger and to take in Hutty's soil, or mulch, let's say. And she's out looking to take out as many of the Hutt cartel as she can. And I mean, if there's other bounties along the way, as long as they get her close to her job, that's cool.
Oh man, that is sad. That is sad. I mean, That's great. Okay, Ferret, let's go ahead and create histories between your hunter and the others. Now, if you don't have the Word doc up, there's a little hover over for each of your characters for histories, and all those are in there. Oh, thank you very much for that, Greg. So let's go first. Offer out any of the histories you think are interesting.
Let's see. The first one I'm thinking of is, let's see, I saw one before that. Yeah, they showed you the ropes when you were learning how to fight.
Who wants to have shown Yuka the ropes?
I could go with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're both on trails of revenge, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
I think I could have shown you that, you need to commit, basically. There is no.
I like the idea that you got the there was a lot of peaceful authority idea. Like, maybe I can make amends. No, you cannot. You have a hammer. Use it.
Yeah. That was definitely the peace is a lie. There can be no peace when the people have burned your forest to the ground. Still walk. What peace can you have?
Real
So
vengeance
I
connection.
just heard a quick mention of a grav hammer. Is that what you chose for the weapon, grav hammer? So in case anyone's like, grav hammer, what is that in Star Wars? It doesn't exist in Star Wars. It exists in the Halo video game series, and it's awesome. And I don't care if I'm mixing peanut butter and chocolate. This Reese cup is going to be great, and I'm so excited that Yuka, the Ithorian, wields a grav hammer. Awesome. What is the next history you'd like to offer up?
I thought we were snaking over these.
Oh, you guys want to snake? Is that what we do?
I mean,
Just
I
like
can keep
put it
going
back and
if you're
forth?
fine.
Yeah, I think that works because it'll help us get a chain of like connections.
Mhm.
Okay. All right then. So Win, you're next up. What do you want to offer up?
The trainee one that I always really like is you save their life from a target due to an unlikely chain of events. And I am wondering if there's somebody who's like maybe new to Black Orchard who she could have I don't know if this is Yuka or potentially I could see that.
I like the idea of that, because Yuka is sort of like a weapon of destruction. The idea of her taking out someone accidentally is fun, but like maybe she was coming to get an autograph after a derby game and like literally opened the door and like knocked someone over a ledge or something who was coming up behind you.
Oh, true. No, this would be this would be me saving you.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah. Like if you're like, does she carry? Now I saw plants. Are those something you carry around and
On
always
that
protect
picture
them?
she has with the suitcase, that's where she keeps all the seeds and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
So it could have been like she was like someone was trying to rob her and she didn't notice it, and that like through some like unlikely events you got I got your stuff back. It must be very valuable. Do you want to plant?
Yeah. I think I could see when skating by and just like seeing a newbie to Black Orchard being roughed up and being like, no way, like totally saving, and then not realizing that the person that like I helped take out was some really terrible mafia person that you are, just using my bounty, like, oh, I'm just helping this helpless person. Oh no, this is an intergalactic situation. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right, let's move on to Van.
I think you hope they can help you control your powers.
Ooh.
That's who I was leaning towards, but I didn't want to. Yeah.
So I'll put another part of Zop's history. Zop did once train with a Jedi, and has helped other Jedi trainees sort of try and find their way. Whether or not that went well, who knows? But
so I like it. Zop. I hope he can help me learn control. I hope the Tanwa clan. Not
yeah,
Tanwa clan. Yeah, it's just the American way of saying 10 tan.
Because we fight with
Yeah.
so that the like the ancient sword weapon that Zop knows from the Tamil clan is the vibro rapier. And so there's
Nice.
obviously some, fencing-esque crossover with lightsabers. I don't know if Van has a lightsaber.
Well, I'm going to change my vibro knife to a vibro sword. Just
There
to
you
Do
go.
it.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, vibro duels, vibro duels.
And I think what Van considers control and what Zop might consider control are a little bit different.
I think the scary thing is probably that in practice quite aligned. My experience of Zop.
Yes, but Zop is definitely still more okay with the light side than the Sith, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I want to stress that Van is. I feel like most people in the Star Wars universe don't know anything about the Sith, right? Like they're just a thing, right?
Yeah, they're like,
yeah. But yeah, cool. I hope the Tanwar clan can teach me how to control my powers. Zop has experience with the Force. Cool.
Delightful. All right then, Zop, what history do you want to offer out?
I like you were rivals for particularly dangerous bounty once before. Ask them how this was handled and discuss the fate of the bounty. I was thinking possibly Yuka for this one because of Yuka's history with the Hutt clans.
That's that could be fine and could definitely go into one of my questions as well.
Okay.
But was this a Hutt bounty?
As in a member of a Hutt cartel?
Maybe they are even just peripherally attached to the Hutt cartel. I'm not sure how direct she is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it was a Hutt cartel member. How did we who actually took the bounty?
I think you took the bounty. I took the information. Though I don't know if you got the full amount of the bounty after I was done.
Oh, gotcha. Yuka got the info. She got half pay. I like it.
Nice. Then we're snake ordering, so we go right back to Van.
You're muted, Will.
Thank you. It's because I've got two different computers in use, so I can use the dice room. I think I would like, well, they saw you use your powers for selfish or vindictive reasons. Ask them who the victim was and then tell them what you did. So anyone want to have Sin Van, embrace the dark side? I think Win would be an interesting one for this.
Yeah. You're muted, Rich.
Yeah, Win, you've seen some stuff, girl.
Yeah. She was they were the sensitive in our last campaign. She helped it was kind of more like a trauma response, and so she walked through that. So especially is this like something that is like you just did something vindictive with your powers, or like, because I think she would recognize it like, oh, that's a person who is struggling while also using the Force.
I mean, I suppose it depends on who the victim was. And under the rules of the history, it's supposed to be you tell me who the victim was, but I'm happy to say.
Yeah, I
do have telepathy, so I could have been doing the whole "these aren't the droids you're looking for" kind of style thing, or more accurately, the Sith version of that, which is much more horrible.
Right. Yeah, I think that could totally happen. I'm trying to think of like if this was while we were all out like pursuing a bounty, and like we were the people who like came upon them at the first time, and you're like, no, I got this, and then you just like this person who had this intense will to like escape just sort of like crumpled into a tiny ball, and you're like, yes, see, now now they're fine. Now we have them. And I was like, okay, filing that away. That's okay. That's the thing. You know, are you really upfront that you have force powers, or is it just kind of like a secret thing that you keep tucked away until people
No, I think
that
he's
you have
quite
it?
quite upfront about his abilities. At least, you know, doesn't go around like broadcasting it, but like it's
Okay.
a tool in his limited belt, right? Like,
Yeah.
start from nothing, scrabble your way up. As the old woman said, you know, with the force,
Yeah.
I will break my chains.
Fantastic. Yeah. I think she probably saw you break someone's will to escape, and probably is ambiguous about it, like understands the helpfulness of that, but is not super 100% on board probably.
Okay, so to break an acquisition's will, and you know what? Let's just make it quite nasty in that, like, they were just a bail bond runner or something, you know, like they weren't like a big bad kind of like, oh, you know, I've got the death system in death sentence in 12 systems. It was just here's some easy money for a guy who's not paid his speeder parking fees. And I just, yeah, cool, I like it. Needlessly, definitely was, because I feel like it's got to be selfish or vindictive, right? So it has to be either it rewards me personally or it's like completely unnecessary.
It could
Like to do it.
be, is it like somebody who you didn't like on the spaceport, and then it turns out that they have some, as soon as we saw their name, like, oh, this person, it turns out, has a lot of speeder, you're like, we're taking that one. And then actually when we found him down, you're like, why don't I just your mind while we're at it?
I think it was more like he insulted me or something,
Oh
and I
yeah.
just snapped, and then was
Oh, like
like,
in the moment.
yeah, like apologize, you know, down on your knees, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And is that someone still on Black Orchard then?
If I'd like that, yeah, sure, 100%. That seems more interesting than whoever, right? I mean, the
Kinda
Untergunter's here, nice.
It is.
some kind of anti-force bigot person.
No, I don't think. You know, I feel like the Force is the way that the New Republic timeline go. The Rebel, you know, is like it's hokey stories, an old religion, and no one remembers that the entire galaxy ran that way 20 years ago. Like,
it's right. What do you think about Naku Breven being the person that you forced to apologize to you, the Rhodian pirate captain of the Untagunta?
I mean, I like that for so many reasons.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Naku Breven. Cool. I'll put that in the history thing.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Awesome. So then let's move then to Win.
Okay, I have one that's lines up with that, which that you're slightly suspicious of somebody because of their powers, or potentially that, or their background. I think that this would be more, she's cautious of Van's like she, like, especially if it's an insult and then kind of like snap, she's more just unsure of like, what are the line, how is this, she doesn't like, clearly he's operating on a different like trigger level than everyone else, and probably because if he's talking about like passion in the Force, she's like, yes, you have to move with passion, you have to do that, but then it turns out with passion is like break people down occasionally. She's like, wait a minute, this is the what? So I think she would be slightly suspicious of the of that philosophy.
Yeah, well, you know, normally passion doesn't involve like choking people with your mind or twisting their brain into pieces, right? So yeah, I like that.
Sweet. Then of course we'll move on to Yuka.
Okay, I think I have the next two I'm going to ask, but for the first one, they helped you at a critical point on in your quest for revenge. Tell them what you needed help with. and I'm thinking this is when, and I think it was that before Yuka had gotten the plants to take to hut mulch, that she had organized them as a bioweapon to, like, she was just going to dump them on the hut planet, turn it into a garden, and be done with it. And it was literally just like a night of drinking over, like, they got philosophical, and Yuka realized, yeah, maybe this is overkill. Maybe I should go to, like, just after the specific huts, not every hut, but
yeah, probably be like, it's just wasted on them. It's just wasted on them. Why not just use your plants in just like a really pointed way? Like,
and probably also, like, you bring up, like, there's biodiversity on that planet you've probably never seen. Yeah, I think someone gave me free reign for my darker impulses. Someone reined them in.
Nice.
And my next question is, yeah, they saw you absolutely lose it and go berserk. Tell them what the situation was and ask them how much collateral damage you caused.
Ooh.
I think this has also come up for Zop before. Oh man. Let me take a look real quick at the places, because there's Black Orchard.
Mm-hmm.
Is there already an established, like, cantina?
I was just literally thinking, like, is there an established cantina? I must have. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, no,
They were an
the
established
pit,
cantina?
the pit. It's like third picture down, Greg. Okay.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry. That's actually on. That's on. I should remove that. That's on Dathomir.
Oh.
So just make up a
Oh,
cantina.
Okay. Yeah, I think Yuka was maybe at a cantina, maybe not necessarily partaking. But there was, this is perhaps before Yuka was really shown how to rein in her violence. And, like, it was known that there was, like, this one person there who was a member of a hut cartel. And Yuka just, like, instead of, like, waiting for them to leave and getting them in the alley, Yuka just, like, pulled out her grab hammer in the middle of the
Well, I tell you what the
cantina.
situation is. You just
Yeah?
tell me how bad the damage is.
Oh,
I
okay.
like what you're saying. I think it
Okay.
was like, it literally was like the nephew of someone who worked at, like, for the nephew of someone who works for the Hut Cartel goes, like, the VIP section of the cantina. Grab hammer comes out. People come out of the VIP section really fast, really messy.
Oh man. Yeah, no, there was no collecting a bounty.
I don't think this was a bounty at all. I think this guy just knew information I wanted.
Yeah, and they are no more.
Ooh, that's how bad it was.
Oh, so I
That's how
killed
bad it
someone's
was.
nephew. Sweet.
And I'm sure that won't result in the huts
Well, I mean, like,
hunting you down at all.
it sounds like the collateral damage was definitely onto their ego.
Yeah, I like okay, so there's collateral damage. That cantina is now closed. And I think everyone knows Yuka did it. It was a really good cantina. People liked it. But Yuka caused so much damage in the attack that it is now closed.
Yeah, there was like a top shelf.
There was a lot of things. There's no more. It's closed.
Okay.
Wow, I love it. We need to name this. We need to name the cantina that's closed down, and of course, we'll need to know who the boss or the nephew is, and I'll work on the boss. So let's talk real quick. Rich will search for cantina names, unless someone has one. Star Wars cantina named you.
The Greasy Dianoga.
Greasy Dianoga. Oh my God, that was a good place. Oh man.
That was a good place. Oh, sorry, I just went
Yeah.
for.
Well, good.
That's
on
what's
Black
left. That's what you're
Orchard.
left with.
Yeah, it's good on Black Orchard. Exactly.
Yeah, good on Black Orchard is a whole different.
Yeah, it was greasy as in like, we cook with real grease, like not like synthetics and things, it's real thing. You taste like real food on a real planet, not on yeah. And
No
then, yeah.
food cubes here. That's awesome. Okay, so then the Greasy Dianoga is the one that shut down. Are we saying that there is no active cantina on Black Orchard right now? And the only way that people like meet in Cabrit is either at people's places or at restaurants, but there's no bar to hang out? Is that what
There's
we're
like
saying?
pop-up speakeasies.
Like this
Pop-ups.
sort of tent situation that people have created.
Tent cantinas. Of course, this is a real problem in Larce's mind because people are upset, not at all pleased. That's great.
It's lowering the property values of everywhere.
Absolutely. Oh man, when these Athorians showed up, they just ruined the neighborhood. Great. Good. Thank you so much, Ferret. So Wen, I believe you have one more to hand out.
Yes. I think that she's in the process of like trying to be more notorious herself because she's having to walk around in branded gear, and I think that she thinks Zop is just so cool and like such a personality, capital P, and is like dramatic and is like, how can I just like command things like this, no matter how much of a disaster that might cause. But I think that she has some level of admiration for his like savoir-faire, if that makes sense. Greg.
Absolutely. Which of the histories is this?
I think there's like a one where it's kind of like they're a bounty hunter that you kind of want to be like, and there's one that's like you have a crush on them. So I'm cool with either of those, whichever works for you.
I like the respect their hard-earned knowledge and often come to them for advice.
Ooh,
yeah,
fun.
wait, where is that? Maybe I'm looking at a different
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm sorry. Hold on. There's the trainee.
I mean,
okay. They're your hero, exactly the kind of bounty hunter you aspire to be. Tell them why you worship them. Okay.
which is like, yeah, a lot.
There's also good friends.
Yeah.
Is it sorry, I just want to like fold back into Talon. Is it possible that you saw like a draft of one of Zop's blood operas about himself?
Yeah.
When Talon was studying because that's where I'm going to say Talon is. Oh, it looks like Danielle may have lost internet. Froze. Oh man. Okay. She'll be back. Talon was this Twi'lek bounty hunter from the previous series who, in early on, basically negotiated out that a guy who has a space yacht asked him to create basically a bounty hunter themed musical, and he readily agreed. And like every downtime moment for that character was researching, creating costumes, like working out things, auditioning people. He was very excited about it.
Sounds very much like Zop's sort of person.
Yeah, and I was like folding in the idea that maybe during Talon's research, he had viewed some
heard about Zop.
Yeah, heard about Zop. Maybe Zop has commissioned, or like at some point a piece of that space opera that you want to happen was leaked out onto the holonet, and maybe that's what Win saw. So we'll move on. So you've already got one Van with Win. So who you have one with Zop. So what do you want history wise with Yuka?
Well, I think the most appropriate out of the available ones there is we're old friends and we trust each other completely. Awesome. Given that I think, I came across Yuka near the start of their journey and it was near the start of mine. And, we've both sort of been in parallel tracks of revenge Revenge, as I always
That
like to call
sounds
it.
perfectly okay with me. I mean, I see no reason why we should not be friends. We both have the most delicate of hands and operations.
Hmm. You're a very interesting wrong, I have to say.
Yeah, I love the juxtaposition of plants, friends, Grav Hammer murdering cartel nephews. This is a good,
you know that there's all
rich and varied.
kinds of allegories, right, about like how you can over cultivate a garden, right, and it will decay and never grow, but then like unchecked growth will just choke everything out, and it's like an analogy for the Force almost, kind of thing, like there must be balance in all things, and blah blah blah.
Why
And then,
balance when you have hammer?
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. And then it's like, and then all of that balance means nothing when they burn your forest down.
Sorry, Beaker came to say hello. He's woken up.
Sorry to drop out. My setup was. I was like, wait,
No
I have
worries.
my charger right here. Were you? Sorry.
Good morning, buddy.
Oh, it's Baker.
Oh, Beaker,
Good morning.
so cute.
He's barely woken up, so. All right, I'll
Mood.
let you down now. You don't want up here. All right.
The,
So
just to real quick see where we landed with that before my laptop
Yeah.
did a thing. I would, Talon, the Twi'lek kind of leader of the group last time, had us all in these, had an amateur theatrics bounty hunter performance called I forget the title. It was like the Hunters Hunted or something like that, and it would be great if we still had like the closet of costumes somewhere on the Raptor that is still there, and that would be, he had promised for us to like play it on a cruise ship. It would be cool if like on the amateur theatrics circuit we had either run into maybe something that Zop was putting together, or all these like drafts his own personal
Yeah,
pilot.
so like in the history with Zop, he found like a rare lost Rhodian opera. It was like a bounty he collected at one point. So he's probably like trying to reconstruct it, but also Zop can't help but add himself to it. So
Okay.
I like the idea that you've maybe run across that kind of stuff somewhere as like a script that people are trying, and it's probably terrible. But
Awesome.
yeah, I like that.
And
And you've heard of Zop through that work.
Yes. Like, oh, I've heard of you not through bounty hunting, but through your art, your artistic exploits. Awesome.
I love it.
awesome. And then we just worked out Van's last thing, which was with Yuka. So now we've got 2 for Zop, right? You need to develop one with Van and one with Win.
Taking my own advice and taking notes. Okay, so let's see. Gotta scroll back up to the night. Go. Oh, I love this one. They're chosen by the elders of the Tanwa clan, but the role they play isn't stated. Ask them what an elder did to convince them to join the cause.
And who are you posing that to?
I'm okay with either Win or Van for that one.
What is the Tanla's clan like? Do they have a motto or a goal?
They're just an ancient, mysterious sort of bounty hunting tradition from Rhodia.
I have one. If it's yeah, sorry to
go for it.
The vibro sword you gave me.
Oh,
like this was a gift from the time, like
You carry a
Like,
Tanwa clan vibration.
Carrier
I like
Tanwa,
that.
yeah, which you know, like fits perfectly. And perhaps it was once wielded by Force sensitive back in the old Republic
Mhm.
days.
Okay. Does it get from vibration an elder?
I like to imagine it as never actually met anybody from the Tanwa clan other than Zop, right? Like, but
Right.
what the elders sent you with to convince me that I should listen to you is
yes.
because is this
Okay.
sword, right?
Yeah. Love it.
I mean,
yeah.
I
No.
just wanted to suggest that we
Mhm.
could, that these histories are prompts, and the
Yeah.
raw
you can
text
tweak them.
you can tweak them. So like you met researching a technical marvel and you've been tech companions
Right.
ever since. It feels like a one that's screaming out for you met researching an artistic marvel and you've been artistic companions ever since, right?
Oh, that is good. Yeah, no, we'll do that one if that works for you. When
Yeah.
okay, so we worked, I guess, on this previous Hunters Hunted.
Oh yeah. Did Talon knew a ton of people, so like if you're okay with knowing a previous person
Oh yeah,
and a
absolutely.
backstory, like being pulled in, like, oh, I know just the person with the dramatic flair for this, and you were like a creative consultant.
I
But
love it.
also like the raptor used to be like the Rhodian raptor, and like Naku Breven, who was the captain that I guess had some connections. So when maybe knows knows Rhodian / could have connections through traveling around on this ship. But yeah.
Love it. I was brought in to liven up the fight scenes, I think.
Yes. Okay. You're like, no, is that at this angle? No. Your death struggles are perfect.
Again.
I don't believe these death throes.
So tell me if this is too much, but I kind of like the idea that Talon is there at the space yacht, like doing the show, and maybe Zop and Win was in the first run of the show for a period of time, and now he's cast new actors and kind of cycled it out and is evolving the show, but Zop and Win, you guys are original cast members from the Hunters Hunted musical.
Community theater friends. I love that so much.
So it's great. My Star Wars is so broken and I love it. Good. That hits everything for you then, Zop, right? You have a relationship out to everybody? That's fantastic. Okay, so we are going to first, I know that we have at least one start of session move. Do we have any others? Okay, so
I have one that's at the beginning of a hunt, but that's not necessarily the beginning of the session.
Right. So, friends, let us go to the bounty board. This is what we begin with. We begin with the bounty board. I'll share it with you, but I wanted to like screen share it with you first just to go over it. So let's do that thing. Cool. So the current bounty board available within your area, acquisitions, which are the names of bounty hunter targets. Your acquisitions are Tishi, who is a female Kaminoan. Last known location is at Liana in the Tyon cluster. Just so we have it. I'll bring over our look here. So the Tyon cluster is over here, and you guys are currently near Felucia, so it is pretty close. That is a 4 leverage, so it's a very low bounty. 4 leverage, you split it however you want. I assume you split it equally. That is wanted alive. She's known for theft and smuggling. Wanted dead or alive, Udolf Key Bregan, 12 for dead, 8 for alive, paperwork. Criminal enterprise, she's on Karania City on Sereno, guarded by dozens of loyal killers serving as soldiers in her criminal army. And from where you are in Felucia, Sereno is here. Oh, there we go. Sereno's there. So not far. If you were to head to Karania City, then there's another bounty. We'll get to that in just a second. Wanted Dead or Alive, Radina Rado Barut, smuggler, thief, position, and she is currently in possession of a rare artifact. Return artifact for a bonus. 4 dead, 8 alive, but negotiable if you return with the artifact. She is currently on Farai Junction, and Junction is located here. So it is actually on a main, one of the main trade routes. 4 dead, 8 alive. Also on Karania City is Palisade Jabat, a Pentoran who stole millions of credits from a local underworld boss. And if you want to do research, these are all the vagues. This is what's up on the bounty. Known rebel sympathizer and may have passage off world. Act quickly. And then the last is Wanted Dead in 5P52, a Clone Wars era B1 battle droid. The leverage for this, or the bounty for this, is 8. Droid on the run from the Imperial military. Destroy on sight. Last known location, Yavin 4. The warning here, open bounty. Other hunters may take this bounty. Speed is a must. And Yavin is relatively close. You won't be able to take a trade route, but you could hop. It's like a straight shot. So I will now share that with everyone. And leverage is an older term, so I will fix that. That is bounty. Leverage is bounty. Bounty is leverage.
I renamed it. I got rid of the difference between stash and leverage in my game because no one
I
can
did
keep it
too.
straight,
It's all
so,
bounty. All
yeah.
bounty.
I just named it stash just so that I could keep it separate from the number of times we say the word bounty in a game about bounty of the week. But I agree that we refer to it as bounty all the time as well, frankly. So that's a thin blurred line there.
You're right. That is a good point.
No, I mean, I think that you're right in that people call it bounty anyways, right? So you know what I mean?
Yeah. But finding a stash is not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
We will. Sorry, I will stop interrupting with our navel gazingly, like, "Ooh, how would you run it, Rich, and how would I run it?" kind of thing as we go on.
Will and I need to schedule like a half hour every week where we just like geek out about the stuff that we're running back and forth. That's what
I have tweaked the knight and the sensitive, and I'm waiting until we finish this system to be like, so Rich, after we've played, here are all my thoughts. So yeah.
Delightful. By the way, the knight was created by David MK, and I just stole it wholesale and added the bounty part. So I like it, and any tweaks to it are fun. What were you going to say?
I think the smuggler with the ties to the Hutt cartel would probably interest Yuka the most. And be a complicated bounty for this team to pull off.
Love anything that's got an unspecified special condition. I like.
Doesn't she also have an artifact?
Yes, that's the special condition.
Oh, right.
Yes. Okay.
I feel like we would definitely return the artifact. We would definitely not keep the artifact for ourselves.
Of course.
Yeah, we'd find the artifact too. It's not like we would just, hunt her down and one of us would run willy-nilly at her screaming with 2 mouths and 4 lungs in rage.
Great. Yeah, I like the droid just because I like the idea of running into other bounty hunters maybe, but I think that you're correct that the Hutt cartel with the artifact seems the most pointed at, like, specific for us to go find.
Something about Yavin 4, that name. So I just want to clarify, like, meta wise, like, if we were to go to Karania City on Sereno, of course, where 2 bounties are located, that is like one of those would be perfect opportunities to try and do 2 bounties in one run rather than, which I imagine would be 2 sessions, really, ultimately, exactly. No matter how we tried it, right? So I'd like to take those off the table as like perhaps that's what we do next session, and the 3rd session is we try and do the go big, go home kind of thing. And that leaves us with, I really like the pilot bounty, and I like the idea of going for the low stakes one, but it is the low stakes one, and I can't come up with character reasons for going for the low stakes one. I just love that the best known pilot of any craft in the Tehran cluster is going to be fun, right? But I think there's a strong, my two ones to narrow it down are, I agree with the smuggler for the aforementioned reasons, and Yavin 4 just because I want to go to Yavin 4. But it sounds as though overall we're more leaning towards the smuggler. The Hook Cartel definitely has a strong connection, and it pays well, and yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, there's no chance that this artifact might have some sort of like force associations that might cause complications for one of us to be handing it back over.
Why would I do that? What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't say anything about the Force. You should have put the Force in everything.
I know. Search my feelings, right?
Sweet. So we are going into a hunt. So Zop, if you want to make your first roll of the game, at the beginning of our Zoom thing, I have the link to the rolling room, but it's also in the safety and roller tab.
Everyone, when you are in good standing with your sect, sure. At the beginning of a hunt, roll plus charm. So Zop is great at charm. He has a 0. Super charming. Go. That is a 9. 7 to 9, you get a mission associated with the hunt. And if you do it, you'll get some info to help, info or help too.
Now, do you read that as info or help to, meaning you'll get some info for future, or info or help now? How do you read that? I just want to make sure we're on the same page with that.
Yeah. And if you do it, you'll get some info or help. I think it's more like I'll get help towards my drive.
Okay.
If I do it, like, yes, the maybe they will allocate some resources towards Zop's personal kind of thing.
If you do this, we'll give you some stuff towards your BS. You get a little side quest, whatever. Sure, we'll tell you that we'll do the thing that you say. Sounds good. Awesome. So you get a side mission. You guys, as we pick up, are on the Raptor, our ship that I'm curious, who is the pilot of the Raptor?
It sounded like Wynn has some history with the Raptor already. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So how have you? I don't recall any scenes where we knew who the pilot was on the Raptor. So do you think this is a thing you've been doing?
I think it was Talon was the Raptor, was the pilot.
That's right, because he had the drive removed. Okay, cool.
Anything. But
totally makes sense that now you have to be the thing because he's not around. Sounds good.
I think that it's very like she pretty much, drives feet on the dash. Like, things have been clearly modified from an experienced pilot to like it's now much more lived in. She's much more about like control of the radio than anything else. But yeah, I think and then I think Wynn had some scenes where she was like working on some stuff. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So you're there. You guys are currently in hyperspace. You're have hit light speed. It's a thing where you've plugged in the coordinates. You're going to be there for X hours of plot time. When and let's say you kind of glance over in the cockpit and you see that there is a case, like a nice kind of big metal case that wasn't there before. And there's a little bow on top of it with a note written on paper, which is like expensive as all get out.
I think she would be like, who's putting stuff in the cockpit again? And then like walking over, like, Yuka, I told you there's a place for plants that is not when I'm driving. And then like goes over to investigate the note.
Awesome. So the note appears to be handwritten in a nice script, and it says in Galactic Basic, when I see that you are hunting again, I noticed that you are not as protected as I would like, and I want to make sure that my asset returns. Larce.
I think she is like, oh, that's so sweet. Wait a minute. and opens it up.
You open it up, and there is a really awesome looking armored jacket that will give you an armor of 1. And on the back, as you lift it up, is like Larce Enterprises, and it just subtly, like the colors just shimmer, and it looks really nice. But you're basically a walking wall ad for Larce Enterprises. But it gives you an armor rating of 1.
Yeah, that's it. She puts it on. It feels amazing, like it's like a custom built thing. She's like, this is awful.
It's fitted.
I love it.
It looks cute, but yeah.
Sparkles. She hates how much she enjoys this, and then gets rid of everything and begrudgingly saves the card carefully because paper is so rare. So she tucks that away, then gets rid of it and is like, never mind, sorry Yuka, it wasn't your plants, and goes back to driving.
And Van leans around the corner and goes, I didn't realize this was a sponsored gig.
She's like, I didn't either, but maybe it'll get busted up. If we just point me in the direction of anything, I'm sure the writing will blast off. We can do
Nothing. I'll stand behind you when the shooting starts. No problem.
And then we will cut to Zop. And Zop, you've got like a little hollow communicator. And this is one of those like Tenwa clan things that can bounce signals through hyperspace. Supposedly you can't have easy communication on it. Like you can pick up the signal, but there's something special about this. And yeah, it is your contact. So do you know your contact, or is this contact someone that is kind of masks their signal and it's audio only? I don't know. What do you think?
My recollection is that they are someone who is sort of a dark, mysterious figure.
Nice. Dark, mysterious figure sounds fun. Good. So
thank you for checking in, Azop. We have reviewed the bounty, and the Tenwa clan wants the artifact. You will return it to us. You will not return it as part of the bounty. How you handle the rest of your bounty hunters is up to you.
Zop just says, understood. Closes up the device.
Sweet. So we did see Van catching a look at Wynn's cool new armored jacket. So let's check in with Yuka. Where do we see Yuka on the Raptor?
Oh, let me check out the Raptor and get a place. So, let's see.
The Sanctuary Lounge does have like a couple of. It has like a little bit of water in it, like pools of water. That could be pretty wild.
Yeah, I think that's I am in one of the or I am in the Sanctuary Lounge, and there's just like this like she is dealing with hydroponics in some of these little things, and has like this little what we would think of as a cactus, but it's probably some other kind of arid like plant in this little itty bitty pot that she can like put somewhere on her as like a decoration as well. And she's just checking out all, dealing with these plants, looking completely humble. I think there's probably this time where she is like making sure her concealed holdout blaster is still in place while she's doing this.
Nice. And yeah, so Yuka is working on some hydroponics and setting up her plants. What Other than the plants, is there any other part of the lounge that Yuka deals with or has tried to personalize a little bit now that you've been
I
here?
think there is this corner that is full of just what would be considered by most to be throaty music, just like the different kind of like heavy music from across the galaxy, and she has these like industrial sized headphones on because like these things like carry vibrations as well as the sound, so she has to get like heavy duty shit to listen to her music.
Nice. Nice. That is cool. That is really cool.
Like, you know, like, there's like this you know, like a record of like what would be Yanni next to like the Ithorian Guar. Just like she has all types of music.
Oh, nice. Thorian Guar sounds hilarious. We just like hear that coming through the earbud or the headphones that you're wearing. Awesome. Anybody have any scenes that you wanted, or shall we jump forward to Junction? Good to jump forward?
Would now be a good point for our bio break, perhaps? Like
You know what?
midway
That's an
through?
excellent suggestion. Thank you very much. The Raptor comes out of hyperspace, and we see the little display in the bottom right-hand corner of Foray Junction, often simply called Junction, a trade world at the nexus of the Hydian Way, Thesme Trace, and located right in the Gordian Reach. And we do the like arrival, we see the Raptor, and then a quick cut to you guys walking out of the ship, the gangway, the gangplank. I always interchange those. And the gangway that you head down is looks like it comes out of the side of it. So hand over when, since you're the pilot, you know, you just hand over control for refueling, any minor repairs to the small group of pit droids that amble up, chittering between each other as they start to climb up onto the ship and clamber over, and one of them is dragging this cart on wheels with the refueling. And
Yeah. I talk to them and I offer a few fist bumps just as like
yeah,
So
they're
it's good?
into it.
Awesome.
They are super into it. You none of these pit droids have quite the personality of DJ from Jody's crew, but still they kind of argue between each other. One of them is up on a wing, and there's one pit droid yelling at him in binary to get down from the wing, and there's it's pit droids.
Handle her carefully, guys. We'll be back for this. Better be in one piece.
One of the pit droids looks over and goes,
Okay.
sweet. So you guys amble out. What is the plan to try to locate? So you don't have a chain code, but you do have a vid. You know what Redina Rado Brute looks like. And I'm curious, do any of you, Van or Yuka or Zop probably, but possibly also Win, have any of you met Rado before?
I think if I did, it would be at best peripherally. Like I saw her back when I was like a gardener for the huts before I knew, like, you know, maybe saw her on a visit at best.
Nice. Yeah, maybe Rado early on, when she was first just getting into the game, before things turned bad for you, and things evolved for her. Sounds good. Cool. So what's the plan? How do you all want to find her on Junction? Do you Zop? Because I think you have deal with your sect on 7th and 9. You'll if you do that, you'll get some info or help too. So if you wanted to use that marker, you could get a little bit of info, or you guys can head about this hunt however you wish.
I think Zop will make contact with the local Tanwa clan contact here, possibly alone. Just it's probably prearranged, right? That I
Mhm.
just take a slightly different exit from the landing area to make contact with the sect.
Ooh, do you want to use your underground move?
Yeah,
Nice.
and I can get some bad information. This is great.
I know. I'm into this.
Okay. Again, willing with charm, flat. Here we go. A 9 again.
Wow, this is crazy. How do you keep doing so well? The odds
Just
are against it.
until my luck runs out.
All right, on a 7 to 9, hold 1.
Okay. Let's see. I will hold 1. I think I make contact with the person, and they pass me an object which will be useful.
Sweet.
But I don't have to establish it until I use it, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Is this a thing where you break off from the group, or do you drag them along and then just go off to meet your contact privately? What do you think?
I don't think any of them know better than to let me go off on my own for a little bit. So I have broken off slightly from the group.
Let's say that you guys are at a cantina known as the Pesky Chair. The Pesky Chair, for anyone that's been here before, or as people will gleefully explain to you, is so named because there's one chair that if you end up sitting at that chair, you have to pay for a round of drinks for everyone in the cantina. It's entirely possible that they've just made that up so that new people who show up have to buy a round of drinks. But there is a sign out front that says it's a Pesky Chair. And it's like the Pesky Chair is this, you ever see those neon things where it's like 2 motion things? So it's like the Pesky Chair, leaning back, sitting up straight, leaning back, and it's up straight. It's pretty simple. But as you guys head in, Zop excuses himself to go to the little Rhodian's room or something and leaves you guys alone.
I, Van, would like to sit in the pesky chairs, like in the pesky chair itself, of course. I don't see why anyone would ever sit in the pesky chair, but to search his feelings and like read people's thoughts, investigate a quarry.
Oh,
using
delightful.
that. Yeah, I also have the tune in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like fictionally it feels a bit like cheap to just be like, I reach out for the bounty kind of thing. I think I need to build some sort of association, like find an
Sure.
item of them, meet somebody, whatever, like be somewhere they were kind of thing to
Fun.
do that move.
Okay.
Just to explain why I don't immediately cut to the use your psychic powers to find the bounty immediately. Kind of
You
thing.
think maybe we should like add in a little on the tune in once you have established a connection, you can attune your mind to a quarry?
Yeah, that's something that I was thinking about because I've just started playing with the sensitive, and I think that'd be good because otherwise it makes sense in Monster of the Week because monsters are often supernaturally creatures that are vague, whereas we're dealing with sentient beings, right? So like it's more of a detective work than a I can sense a dark monstrous hunger in the sewers that's going to eat people kind of thing.
It makes
yeah.
sense that would be something we would be used to as well. Like we get off the ship and we're kind of like, Van, you get a sense of something, you want to follow your nose around.
Yeah,
Like,
you have any hunches? Like yeah. And it's basically, I imagine, kind of like slightly invasive, like it's like eavesdropping, but it's let's see, if I roll badly, maybe it becomes overwhelming or something, right? Anyway, so I will roll investigate a quarry with my sharp, which is 1. I get a 10.
Well, my oh my. Cool. So doing the telepathy, right? Just making
Mhm.
sure okay. So you're doing telepathy, you're trying to read people's thoughts. You're sitting in the middle of the pesky chair. You went down and sat in a chair, right? Whereas I don't know if Wynn would actually sit down for fear of ending up in the pesky chair.
Mhm.
That thing,
Yeah.
that
So-
kind of thing happens to her a lot. She's probably just like antsily leaning on a wall, as maybe eyeing a bar stool enviously.
I mean, that could be a
Enviously.
chair. It could be
Yeah.
it could be the chair.
Yes, and I think that Van is oblivious to the idea that if you sit in that chair, you're gonna have to make him pay, right? So he just plots himself down in a chair, no care. While Wins, he just sits down and then just stares at the drink that he orders in front of him. Looks into the thing, and then with the cameras like on his face, you just hear all the like conversation in the room like suddenly like go quiet. And then like each individual voice like speak out something, as Van just whispers under his breath the name of the quarry, the acquisition, and we see it like flicking through different perspectives and stuff. And I think what I'd like to ask is, where did she go?
Nice. So you sift through all of these thoughts. You catch the whisper of a thought of a Chiss woman who is pretty excited about her hand, but trying to play it cool and trying to pull some people in. Like, I just gotta bait the hook. And you also catch a bit of a conversation from a Duros weapons dealer who is pretty upset about some of the clampdown of the Imperials in this local area. Thinks he needs to look for some other avenues to get new equipment. And then you catch the thoughts of Aradataki by the name of Lilu. And her thoughts are along the lines of, how long do I have to sit here and wait for something that's not going to show? Can't believe I'm her stupid lookout. And you realize that Lilu is trying to watch out for trouble for Rado.
Mm. And I think Zop is currently off on his own little thing, right?
Of course.
And I try to draw Winnie's attention, but she's too busy looking nervous about the chair. And so I, to Yuka, and I just like look meaningfully over at this Ratataki, and I just touch one eye. That's the lookout. So follow her. She'll lead us to the quarry. And I think I'd like to use my second one to ask, I'm trying to ask something about this artifact, I think, which I think might be what is being concealed here. Like, where is it hidden? If that makes sense as a question.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Because we have a
Nice.
two-pronged thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
find
you
her,
do. You do. You
get the
definitely want
artifact,
the artifact. Yeah. I think then you continue to listen in to
perhaps people
Lilu's
she's
thoughts.
trying to help sell it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem
Lilu. Yeah.
Yeah, you're continuing to listen in on Lilu's thoughts as she says, she's not going to hand it over. She's going to run. She's going to bail the moment that she gets passage. This is foolish. I can't believe that we're listening to her. And yeah, it sounds like Rado has the artifact and is keeping it close and using it as leverage with whoever Lilu is working for. And after you communicate to Yuka, hey, this is our person, you feel a large hand, Van, come and kind of put on your shoulder. And you see this almost 7 foot tall Trandoshan say, well, you found the pesky chair. He says, "This tankard is very empty." He turns it over, and it's like this big. It's like he turns it over, and this is like larger than several tea kettles.
Mhm.
Slams it onto the table. Fill her up. Pesky chair rules.
I need to look up the Sith code so I can quote it thing, because there's definitely something about rules in there. Well, Van says, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize I'd sat in your chair."
No, you sat in the pesky chair. You have to pay.
I'm just
I think-
thinking, how far can I push that? I can manipulate someone without speaking. Thing.
Oh. That aspect of the playbook.
Yeah. Because manipulate someone in normal monster of the week isn't like Jedi mind trick, right?
It
But then
isn't quite. No.
It also occurs to me that like telepathically manipulating someone without speaking is also like completely
I think it's pretty
redundant.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it makes no sense to be like, why would I ever telepathically tell someone, like make a bargain with someone when I could just speak to them, right? They would probably be weirded out by that more than anything, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I think, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go for it. I'll try and manipulate him into, graciously, like into. I think I spit in the drink, and hand it back to him and go, "Yeah, here's your drink. Now take a seat, my friend."
Let's see how the dice agree with that statement.
Yes, of course. And I have a 1 in charm, so it's the same roll. That is an 8.
That's an 8. I think they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now and show you mean it. I think because this is in his head,
I've got a suggestion. If you,
yes,
I'd totally be fine with. He smiles, takes a drink, sits down. He's just about to sit down, and then looks in his cup and goes, and then just goes for me.
Sure. I mean, that doesn't feel like a hit to me.
No, it feels like I've worked out of my way if I have to buy the whole bar drinks and the whole like thing. And now it's just it's
he's
smaller,
not going to
so
tell anybody else about you sitting in the pesky chair, but he's pretty upset that you spat in his tankard. So yeah, he goes for you. So he leans across and kind of grabs you up in his big arms. I'm curious what Wynn is doing.
Wynn is, as soon as she sees Van answering him with a perfectly calm face, she's like, "I should have just sat down. Dang it. I should." Griffing every time. Okay, and then as he's going for you, I would like to kind of dive. It's going like around the throat, I guess. Going from I think she'd duck in like, "Oh, no need to get so angry. My friend is a bit aggravating, but
here's the deal. He's fully committed to the choke.
Yeah.
He's not going to listen to you. You can try to protect him. You can protect Van if you want.
Yeah, I want to use
the chat is not going to work this time.
Yeah, so. I want to use the power of heart when fighting an enemy. If you help someone, you don't roll, but you automatically get a 10+ on them. So if he's going, then can I grab one of his arms and kind of do like some kind of twirl and like twirl him off like a sort of
sure roll to protect somebody. You roll with tough.
Oh, right.
You got a chance to do this. Let's see how it goes. You got a 1 in
power
tough.
Of heart,
yeah.
Work with this, just the 10+.
The 10+ is
or
on the move. Help out.
Them?
The move.
Yeah,
help
out. So if you wanted to help out Van do a thing, you can. If you want to protect Van, then you need to actually engage.
If you distract him while he's then, I'm 100% willing to take that 10+ on the help out and
Okay.
Would that mean that like I'm like, okay, I guess I'm punching him first? Would that be helping Van?
No,
or...
you're helping out could be exactly what you said. Like, oh, my friend is very aggravating, like, don't let him. And then I take that moment of distraction to headbutt him and, like,
Okay.
escalate
Okay.
things.
I think I kind of like dive in. I'm like, I'm so sorry, my friend is distracting, and I kind of nudge you out of the chair and get half on the chair, like, see?
Yeah, and he's like, hands are around Van's neck, but you get in his face, and that'll open up a little bit of a help out. But Van, it seems like you want to kick some shabs here.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
No one tells me what I have to do. So I'm going to use my powers to kick some shabs.
Yeah.
I roll plus tech, and I get a +1 thanks to that help out.
No, you don't. Remember, this is call for aid, so that's going to push you up a level.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, it's different. Sorry, I've internalized the monster of the week.
It's okay.
Too much sometimes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
That's a 10.
Awesome. That is terrifyingly effective.
Yeah.
So in kick some shab on a 10+, you swap harm, but you get to choose an extra effect.
I'd like to deal terrible harm. I want to take him out of the fight, basically.
Okay.
So I know what I want. I want to force him where I want them, right? Which is, I think that he's choking me, right? And that's the harm that I'm taking, because he's choking me. And then it's just like eyes locked and my fists tighten, and then he's and he stumbles into the chair, sits down, like gasping for breath.
Yes, that sounds awesome. Yuka and Zop, you're just coming back from your meet with your contact. I'm going to say, by the way, that your contact is, as I quickly go over to names of species, Deveronian. And we'll say that his name was Oxbell. And Oxbell is the one who like slipped you a little something and said, yeah, there's a lot of HUD around here. You need to be careful. So Zop, you're coming back. Yuka, you were watching this, but you were also, Yuka, keeping an eye on that Ratataki that Van had pointed out. The Ratataki makes what Van just did, like she gets it. And she gets up and she's going to beat feet out of this place. Not running, not trying to draw anybody's attention. She's just sliding out of here. She doesn't know that you're watching her. For all she knows, oh yeah, this is trouble. I'm going to go. And you see that happen. Zop, you catch maybe Yuka's eyes, as of course in Thorian, kind of hard to be subtle. So Yuka, what do you do?
I think Yuka will see Zop coming in, and will be heading past the table. She knows Van can take care of himself, and Win is lucky. So she'll motion for Zop to follow her as she just makes her way out of the bar, as casually, just sort of like, oh, something is happening near where I was sitting. I must get out. Just out of my way, please.
Nice. So here's what I think makes sense to me. If you want to follow her, she goes out, she hits the street, Duracrete streets. Like, this is a city. It's not like a Mos Eisley, cantina. It's a cantina in an area that has Duracrete streets and lots of buildings and the like. And if you want to trail her, Yuka, is that your intent? You want to trail her? Okay, cool. So give me an act under pressure just to keep the trail without her noticing that big.
And does she count as part of belonging to the HUD cartel?
She certainly does.
Okay, then I'll add +1 to this roll. Oh, no, that did not help.
Okay, so in Bounty of the Week, you have the ability to call for aid. And Zop's there. So you could ask Zop to cover for you. Zop describes how he's helping, and he will roll. And if he's successful, it will push you up to a middling success. If he fails, you both suffer the failure. If you just eat this failure, you get an XP. So
I think if it's more, we've had a lot of good luck so far. Let's eat this failure.
Nice.
Oh
Sounds good. I love it. So you mark an XP, and this Ratataki, she's kind of short. She bobs in between some of the crowd. This is the main spaceport and a relatively populous city. So there are a bunch of traffic overhead of speeders and like vroom, 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 vroom. And there's a point where you don't realize it at first, Yuka, but maybe Zop, you pick it up that she catches Yuka's reflection in one of the windows of a shop as you guys pass by, and then she glances around and spies the both of you. And before you even like, there's a moment, Yuka, where you go, "Oh, I've been made," and she's already got her blaster out, firing at you guys. What do you do?
Oh dear. I think I do feel bad about dragging Zop into this. I'm going to have to roll to protect him.
Awesome. Roll plus tough, unless you've got a move that does otherwise.
Nope. So this will be a bit better, but
Oh, you're very tough. You're gonna be fine.
I am fine. That's a 12.
You are so tough. Awesome. So under the move protect someone. I should probably move that up to the kick some shibs because the two work better together. On 10 plus, you prevent harm to another character. You protect them okay, and you get to choose an extra. So 7 plus, you protect them okay, but you suffer all or some or all of the harm they are going to get. And on 10 plus, you can choose an extra. Suffer little harm, -1 to the harm. All the impending danger is focused on you, which means she only made you. You inflict harm on the enemy, which means it's close enough to where you could strike her back, or you hold the enemy back. That's the extra option that you get. It's on row 62 of the basic.
I think I'm going to have all the impending danger focused on me. I think like as the moment the blaster comes in, Yuka does what is unexpected and begins running in instead of running away. Like... Yeah, the counterintuitive thing of, a gun, run at it.
Sweet. So you are hit by a blaster pistol, but the good news is that Zop, you take no wound whatsoever. Blaster pistol is 2 harm. Do you have any armor?
I have 2 armor. Safety first.
Well, nice. Good call. So pew pew, it like bounces. What is the armor that Yuka wears? What does that look like? 2 armor is pretty big.
Normally it's with this it is just upgraded concealed armor. Well, I think it is like under her.
Oh, that's right. You've got that move that adds on. Okay, yeah.
I think she has like all this like flowy Ithorian cloaks and silks on, but the blaster just begins like frying them off, and you see like every bit of like every soft or vital organ is completely protected by like a sheen of metal or ceramics that's just bouncing all this stuff off. Nice.
Now are you just charging hands out, or are you reaching for the grav hammer, or?
No, I'm just charging in. I'm going to be reaching for my holdout pistol, but that's hidden so far.
Okay, perfect. So you're just charging for, it's just a wild Ithorian herd stampede that she sees. And then I'm going to check in real quick with Zop. So you just saw this. Hey, Yuka just got made. Holy crap, they're firing. Oh no, Yuka is with their 2-throated roar charging forward. Zop, what are you doing at this wildness?
I'm hoping that before Yuka closes the distance, I can like from the side tackle the Ratataki. Her name.
You have the Entangler.
I do have the Entangler. Or maybe I'm above and I just like shoot down and swims around her legs and I pull her up Batman style. I'm trying to like
wild.
I'm trying to like pull her up so we can figure out where the artifact is, because that's actually what Zop's more concerned about.
Okay, cool. Kick some shebs.
All right. Let's see.
So she's wholly focused on Yuka. I'm going to give you a +1 forward on this roll because of Yuka's choice to like really draw focus and attention.
Okay. So I'm rolling +2. Add that to the modifier.
Dang it, 2 12s in a row. What is
Zop
up?
is actually good at bounty hunting for once.
Sweet. This is obviously not the real Zop.
So I think we'll do a combination. So I think I use the grappling thing, but I descend, right? And she's not expecting it. As this Athorian is charging her, Zop comes down below and just hits her really hard and knocks her down. Is there I forget what the kick some shebs. I force them where I want them.
Yeah, you've entangled her. And then Yuka, you get up on her. You've got the holdout blaster, and it looks like you guys have overcome Leilu, the Ratataki. Let's cut back to the pesky chair. When Van, you're force choking this humongous Trandoshan.
I think it was like kind of, that first, it was like, and then it was like throwing him into the chair,
Okay,
like kind of.
Cool. So yeah, like he hits the chair and he's just kind of rubbing his throat, but you've proven a great deal of mastery over some kind of art that is scary and terrifying. And
perhaps that's the point where someone else goes like, Krusk is in the chair, way kind of rounds on Krusk kind of thing, and then Van turns to Win and is like, "Where's the Ratataki?"
Yeah, she's like mouth up and to be like, "This is not what we use our powers," and then is like, "Wait, where's Yuka?" And then looks at the door that I assume is still open, and is like, "All right," and is charging out that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Perhaps even, just to frame it a bit more, is that Van's about to about to step forward and do something more to this Trandoshan, and then Win is like, the others have gone, let's focus on their mission, right?
Yeah, I think as she's doing that, and then she's gonna flip a coin back to the Trandoshan to pay for his drink. As they're running.
He's so nice. He doesn't deserve such nice treatment. That's great.
Well, he didn't deserve to be force choked for those were the rules of the bar. Anyway, yeah.
Cool. So then Van and Win, the two of you head out of the pesky chair, and you just head a block before you see an entangled Ratataki, who, Van, you recognize, and Zop and Yuka standing over her as she says, "Your lives aren't worth spit if you hurt me. You don't understand. I've got friends, powerful friends."
I had friends before. I had lots of friends who helped me out. The Hutt cartel took them from me, so now my life isn't worth anything. So, tell me, why is yours actually worth so much when mine is worth so little to your people?
That sounds like you might be yeah. Are you trying to what are you doing? Do you want to manipulate her to spill the beans? What do you want here?
I think I'm either manipulating her or I'm actually using this to investigate a quarry by questioning her.
Sweet. So if you guys do this conversation like on the Durcrete sidewalk, there's got to be some authorities in Junction. So are you going to try to move this here, or are you letting Yuka just do this right here and now with a small but ring of people who are like, I'm not going to walk past this. But they're kind of sort of walking. Other people are like, I think I can go cut down that cross section and get to where I'm going. So is anyone interrupting Yuka's questioning here? Letting it go? Seems like a Van thing. Zop?
Zop is keeping a careful eye on Yuka because we do need this one alive.
Yeah. Win is ready to run interference. She's kind of standing back to everybody, ready to go, oh no, look over there if needed be.
Guild business, people, citizens, go about your business. Yeah, I like it.
Nice. All right, then let's go ahead and have you investigate a quarry by terrifying the Ratataki.
Okay, let's roll for this. And since she is part of that, I do get that
+1.
Oh good, I needed it. It's a 7.
Ooh, squeak by. You get to hold 1.
And
She says, I don't even know who you are. My friends of the Hutt Cartel, and whatever they've done to you, you're still alive. You should be thankful.
And I think you could just bends down, both mouths open, take this sort of dragging inhale. The authorities are coming. What they will find when they get here depends on your answer. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for Rido. Where is she?
Oh man, that's very effective. Leilu looks at you, and I think Van, you get this trickle of thought of saying, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. But I really hate Rado. She says, there's a laundromat just a few blocks down from here. There's a door. She's in a hideout room underneath in the basement. There are 3 people who are pretending to be washing clothes, but you'll know who they are. You probably don't want to mess with them.
Well, if they put up as much of a fight as you did, it'll be easy. Thank you. And Yuka will stand up.
Oof. And I think this is our first moment of a little bit of the dark side for Van, maybe?
If you let her go, she's seen you, she's marked you. She'll rat you out. You need to silence her. Wipe this from her head.
Yeah, go on then. Why not? And I think that's manipulate someone without speaking, right? Like,
yeah. So you do it.
Yeah, as let's see, the roll says first. As a 7. And I think the thing that's convincing that we really mean it is, is what Yuka's just set up, right? Is that she's gonna kill her and all of those things, right? And so like the like Yuka drops her on the ground, and we have the location, and as the rat attack, he gets up, like Van is suddenly there, like behind her, and says like, if you this, if you forget, you live. And it's just like the fear of just even thinking about this moment, like.
Yeah, I think there's a moment you hear her voice back. She doesn't speak out loud. She says, there are people who've seen us. I can't walk around this place anymore if I betray the cartel. You got to get me off this planet, but I won't tell anyone if you do.
Yeah, why not?
Did we get artifact? No.
Help us. Yeah, help us get the artifact, and there's a place for you on the ship.
Okay. You don't really want to mess with that.
You don't want to mess with us.
Okay. You're not wrong. So there's this brief like staring contest between the Ratataki and Van. Yuka, you've been told where the laundromat is. Do you observe this or move on?
I think Yuka is removing the ruined outer shell of her outfit and is trying to like make an actual disguise for why she would go into a laundromat.
I think Zop might interrupt Yuka as she's trying to disguise herself and go, Hold up. The cartel knows 3 of our 4 faces and points at Win.
But her armor is so frivolous and
Cute.
shiny.
Cute.
I have seen Win perform the best of acts in the finest of disguises and costumery.
It was a great opening night.
Truly.
He did take out one of the galaxy's most ruthless people with a door.
Yeah, honestly, because like I think that person was probably connected to the Hutt cartel, but maybe they didn't see my face because it was just opening a door, and so my face is still they still don't know me. I'm like, yeah, wait, so what? Who am I talking to? For what do we need to get out?
Our quarry hides in a laundromat. There are 3 guards, and we need to get to her without her being alerted, or alert her in such a way that we get to her fast enough that she doesn't run away.
Okay. Cool. Just need to grab some laundry and I will be great.
Perhaps a replacement jacket.
This is
Say.
it's got probably in like some really awesome 80s calligraphy font in the back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already protective of the jacket, as awful as it is. That is like, okay, fantastic. Can we see anybody going in and out of the laundromat? Is there like something that the wear, like the people who work there, like some kind of...
So you guys come upon, like you get closer and you've been watching the laundromat for a little bit. And I think like Van, does Lilu stick around with you? Because she's supposed to help you get the artifact, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because she tells you that Rado has it. Rado's not going to give it up.
Yeah, and I think Lilu's whole is like irrationally like fearful at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, like keeps looking over at Van for like, what should I do now? Like, you know, it's like cowed by it kind of thing.
So when you've been watching this laundromat for a bit, no one has come in and out. Like it is not a popular destination at all.
Wonderful.
It must be known.
This is a real laundromat. Okay. And yeah, I think that I think she'll take, like, if Yuka has extra clothes or something, I think she'll ball them up and carry them underneath her arm and just like walk right in and like push the door open. And is it a laundromat inside?
Yeah, it's a laundromat inside. When you step inside, you hear that there's this very light amount of like string instrument music playing, but there's a low hum from the lights in here. It's blessedly quiet from laundromat sounds. None of the washers or dryers are currently active. You see that there's a string of 3 of them that have out of order signs over them. And sitting on top of one of the washers is a human woman. And she looks to be in her, like, about your age, really. She's got this beautiful mocha skin, very curly hair. Actually, if you want to see the picture of what she'd look like, she looks like the picture for near human on the Names and Species Helper. And there are a couple of others. There's a Duros, a taller Duros, who's leaning against one of the walls. You, when have received enough training to realize that he is packing. And then there's another human who is pretending to be pulling clothes very slowly out of a dryer. But the girl sees you walk in and she takes note of you. She's the one who's just openly watching you.
Okay. I think that Win is like, yeah, I think she's got that under her arm and she's like, yeah, I came here because I hear this is the place to take care of dirty laundry of all kinds. Just like, yeah, very like wink, but also has laundry, but isn't like,
Nice. Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. She like plants her hands on the washer and just pushes herself off to hop up and says, "Are you looking for some help?"
Yeah, actually. Um,
And she walks closer to you and does this thing where she like kind of walks her fingers along the tops of the washers as she's walking closer to you. And you know, she's wearing this like nice floral scent. She says, "Well, my name's Kiana. How can I help you?"
Kiana, fantastic. Love your perfume, the whole your style. Um, I've been I'm trying to think of like how to say, because I don't know if these people are helping our Corey or like would she be on their side or no?
What you
Like is
know
it
about the bounty is that she has friends in the Hut cartel.
okay?
And Leilu evidently is connected to the cartel. Maybe Van shared that with you while you guys were waiting and looking at the
Okay.
laundromat. So
Okay. So
basically, they're sitting on keeping her protected right now.
yeah.
And
Did they
Kiana's gotten like really like in your personal bubble kind of close. And she's
yeah.
got this smile, like she's trying to seem open and friendly, but it feels practiced, like it's not
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah. I think Win steps back a bit. Is this the time when I could use and tell me if this is wrong. Could I use an oops to like as a move to either have something interesting or spot something in the
Absolutely.
laundromat that I could
Yes,
have as like
you've seen a Kiana before. This is a clone.
okay, yeah, that's all right,
That's
all right.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've maybe met a few Kianas. They're clone often assassins or mercenaries. Very good at
Hmm.
what they do, highly developed, like about fourth generation clone.
Okay. I think that then Win is gonna lean in and be like, I just there have been some really terrible people causing a ruckus. I just came from the pesky chair and like I don't know how the authorities are here, but I didn't know if there was a place I could just kind of like be safe. And then she kind of gesticulates to the pile of laundry like I'm carrying like I have some valuables that I need to not go missing. And I just need a place to kind of hide out. And she's hoping that she'll find something to stick into the pile of clothes before they ask her about it, is I think the plan.
I think you need to act under pressure here. She glances
Yeah.
back at the Duros and the other person that has
All
been
right.
still like pulling more clothes out of the dryer.
All right.
So
If
as you're
this
doing that, I'm going to cut outside. So you're acting under pressure, which is rolling plus cool. We cut outside to Van, Yuka, Zop, as you are able to see Wind's back and the Larse, symbol occasionally on her armored.
I think it's something's not right here. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Kiana's going to kill her.
You always have bad feelings.
They're always right, Zop.
And I think at this point, Yuka's not saying anything, but she's bent over and is polishing her auto blaster or blaster carbine, I think.
And Lilu says, "No, I didn't know Kiana was watching."
I think Zop is going to take this chance to try and sever this this safe house from the wider net so that if they try to like send out any alarms or
That
they try
is
to
a
lock
real
down,
good idea.
they don't
Uh,
if they try and contact the cartel beyond this block, it's not going to get through.
Nice call. Use technology.
Excellent. And I think Zop's got a little data pad and has just there's like wires sticking out of a whatever a light pole would be. All right, tech. I believe that's +2 for the one thing Zop is good at. Yep, +2. Ooh, only a 7.
Ooh, so you gotta pick a thing that you
glitch.
want, which is you gotta pick a glitch, and then I tell you how it impacts.
Okay, so I'm closing a place down, setting alarms
Absolutely.
or traps. Yep. And then I will take 1 harm. It feeds back violently and aggressively through this light pole and shocks the crap out of Zop's little rubbery Rhodian fingers.
Oh man, that's so bad. Oh, as it zips back, but then there's like a wound. Confirm you've shut down. Nice. We slide back in, and when you the pesky chair's some trouble. I just wanted to wash it and have a chance. And Kiana, she looks back to the Duros, and I see that you with the what could go wrong, you've got a 10+. So she looks at Duros and the guy who's pretending to pull out stuff, and she says, "Okay, we'll give you a little bit of time. That one works." And she pulls out some like credits and slides it into the slot.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think as Wynn is loading this into the washer, she's kind of like, you guys don't have any of like the fancy fabric softener, do you? Like if I ruin these anymore, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble. And she kind of like looks out back. She's like, I know sometimes like people keep it in the like there's like a closet or something. The last place that I did this laundry at.
And Kiana is bought in, so she says, "I think I've got some in the back." And she turns and kind of walks away and past the Duros guy into a back area. Now you're down to just 2 people. This guy's done, like he's out of clothes, so he's reached the point of like, well, got to stand up with my basket now. And he's like placed it on top, and he's slowly folding the stuff.
Okay, would this be an investigative query to try and I don't know where Rado is in this place, but would that be what
Sure. If you want to roll plus sharp, go ahead as you're looking around.
Okay. What do I even have to that?
Sharp.
Sharp. Okay, I have a +1.
Yep.
Hey, that's a 9, so it
Hold
kinda
1.
works. All right, so I think I want to know what is being concealed here in that, like, where is Rado hiding?
Awesome. You realize that Duros, you just kind of catch that there's a couple seams in the wall. He's standing in front of a door that is made to look like part of the wall. You've just rolled a 6 on a 1d6 in D&D terms. You've discovered a secret door. We cut back outside to Zop, Yuka, and Van. Zop, you just caught somebody trying to signal out. But it's shut down. You successfully kind of locked that down, but somebody was trying to communicate out.
Yeah, and Zop will turn to Yuka and be like, she's in trouble.
Yuka will stand up, heft the blaster, or the huge ass blaster, I should say, and I just like cock an eye ridge at Zop, like As in, should I go in? Should I just follow someone in?
Yeah, I think.
Did I read a bad situation?
Sure, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a 5 though.
Oh, do you want to call for aid?
No, I definitely want to take the miss on the thing.
Okay, we'll take the.
I just want to qualify, as long as that miss is something that leads us into more explosive action rather than everything's fine, stay here kind of stuff. Otherwise, yeah.
Everything's fine to stay here should be out of my vocabulary for about the week. Here's what happens. So Van, you're trying to, is this okay? And that's when you see there are 5 guys who are headed towards the laundromat. They look like they're on their way for a reason, moving quickly, obviously armed.
I will say I think Yuka should help win. And then Zop will pull out his vibro rapier and gesture towards Vans and gesture towards the 5 people, because I get extra if I protect with my vibro rapier.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. And I think as we part our ways, I'm just gonna say to Yuka, make sure she comes back alive. And I say that to Lilu as well, who I send in with Yuka. I think, like, they'll keep coming for you, Lilu. You know it to search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Nice.
Your only way is strength. Yeah, your only way is strength through victory. You'll gain power, and your power will set you free. Lilu, take it.
Oh, poor Lilu. Poor Lilu. Sweet. Good. So let's cut to Win. Win, you've discovered what's going on.
Yeah, honestly, I think she's like, okay, the scene has changed and it calls for something different. I think she's like, you know what? I think what I'm looking for might actually be in that closet over there. And then is going to like activate her rocket skates and slide over to the Duros and try and like kick him savagely in the side of his leg so she can get behind there, because I still have 1 hold left from what could go wrong and I can use it to inflict 1 harm.
Awesome. That's great. So you want to rocket skates in and kick this guy and like go through. Do you want to try to go through the door?
Yeah, or pull it, or I don't know how
Yeah,
if it's super
would like
flimsy,
slide.
I'm just gonna bust it on
Yeah, just go through it. That sounds amazing. Yeah. Sweet. So you rocket skates and kind of shove him out of the way, and maybe it's one of those where you're like, oh yeah, it's a rocket skate move, and you bust through the door, and then boom, stairs. You're trying to navigate the stairs, and you see there's a little bit of light, and there's a bunch of Duracrete. It's dank. It doesn't smell great here, but you hear there's some like low music playing, and we'll cut back to you because you now have revealed the secret door. So who's going to meet with these 5 large individuals?
Van and Zop.
Van and Zop. That sounds awesome. And Lilu and Yuka are beating feet into the laundromat, right? Sweet. So let's deal with the outside first. Van and Zop, these guys are making their way towards the laundromat. What's your plan? You're going to interpose yourselves? You're just going to pot shot them? What's the deal?
So Zop is aiming to protect Win. But I think fictionally just interceding ourselves between them and this laundromat. Maybe just Zop, maybe Van is hiding in the shadows, Van style. But yeah, okay. So Zop will just walk out with the vibro rapier kind of casually to one side and cock his head. Evening, gentlemen.
And I think there's a Wookiee that kind of growls a little bit, and you hear,
Greetings, gentle being. Move.
Oh, I won't be moving.
another growl.
Then you will hurt.
It's fine.
And then the Wookiee will reach for you to
Excellent.
dislocate
So
or rip off arms.
yeah, that's not going to happen. I hope. Zop will just like, it's very casual, but it's like I imagine it's sort of like a drunken boxing style fighting, where Zop is moving very fluidly with this fiber rapier. Let's see. This is protect. Or am I kicking Chebs? I'm okay with that. I'm kicking Chebs.
Yeah, I feel like you're kicking Chebs because
That's fine.
The threat right now is directly to you.
Yep. Cool. Rolling plus tough. I'm okay with that. Modifier 1. That's an 11. I'm more than okay at that.
Wow, that's awesome. So you guys are gonna swap some harm. He is the Wookiee is. I'm gonna say it's like 2 harm that is coming your way. You do have some armor, so I think you're gonna be okay with that.
I'm okay.
But I think it's one of those like rip and tear. So the Wookiee's going to try to pull your armor off of you, so that future things will hurt. What are
Gotcha.
you doing?
I am forcing them where I want them, which is with their backs to Van.
Oh, sweet. Okay, Vane, you've got a big hairy back to deal with.
Yeah, which is when I step out from between the 2 park speeders and just stab one of these guys straight through the back.
Not the Wookiee, but one of the other guys, because they're starting to move to try to help out.
Yeah, trying to think what's more dramatically interesting, really. I think Zop's got the Wookiee. I think this is disrupt. Like I think as one of them is like running forward to help out the Wookiee. It's
totally
just
makes
like
sense.
So I think that's kick some Shebs, right? And I'll use my vibro sword, so I have a -1 on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is a 3.
And I assume you're not calling for help, calling for aid here.
I mean, yeah, go on, Zop. Like you see me step forward, and the guy turns around.
I think like Zop, like as you're stepping out, you're going for one of them, and Zop might be like, the other one, the other one.
And we'll say it's like a human, like this beard that he thinks is awesome with braids, but isn't, and a Gamorrean who just ate a hot dog and hasn't finished.
Still eating the hot dog. Oh,
still eating the
as
hot
much
dog.
as I wanted the Gamorrean just to be run away and be fine. I will gesture towards the Gamorrean. They're the most distracted. All right, so I'm rolling flat because I think this is cool. This is acting under pressure, right? This is quick thinking.
Yeah, that feels right.
That's an 8, which I believe means it pushes Van success.
It'll push, but it means you suffer any trouble. So you go from a fail to a mixed success. You will swap harm, and let's see, that's kick some Shebs. So yeah, you just swap harm. Here's what happens. I think, yeah, this is what happens. So you step forward and stab this Gamorrean, right? Is that
yeah. I step forward and like attack the Gamorrean, and I'm imagining with this mixed success, it's all going to go into a brawl, basically. Like big street fight.
He grabs your wrist after you slice into him. It hurts. Like he definitely felt it, but he grabs your wrist, and his intent is to try to disarm you. So he's holding on to that wrist, and you take 1 harm just from the strength of his grip. And he's going to try to control your hand and maybe snap your wrist, maybe snap he's not sure what's going to be snapped. The snapping needs to happen now. And then the other guy is going to be running forward to try to tackle you. So you'll take 1 harm right now. It's AP effectively, because how can you armor your wrist type deal. Sweet. So let's slide back inside. Yuka and Leilu. Leilu follows you in. Yuka, you enter this place, and the Duros is getting back up. He's drawn out this long, like stupid long blaster pistol. And the guy who was sorting through laundry has now pulled out a scattergun, basically Star Wars shotgun. So what do you do, Yuka, when you enter?
Oh, I have a gun with auto, so I'm just going to spray and pray.
Awesome. Go ahead and kick some chevs.
Because I think there's a quick scan. I don't see a win. Oh, good. Everything goes.
Sweet. You're fighting the enemy that caused your loss, so you may take your +1.
Oh dear. Well, even then, that only pushes me to a 6.
Oh.
Unless you're Ferret, if you're more interested in the failure for the XP, I'm fine with that. But I can also give you a +1 forward.
Please give me a +1 forward.
I can do. Okay, so this is my my ancient thing that they gave me.
Okay.
Trying to think. It's a useful object. Take +1 forward.
It could be a thing you handed off to Leilu that she
been like a
whips out.
It could be that souped up my blaster too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's like a super power charge or something that I handed off to Yuka when you went in.
Nice. Sweet. So you're going to take a few shots, but you are dishing out a whole lot of harm because a blaster carbine is
3 harm messy.
Yeah, 3 harm. That is nasty. Awesome. So yeah, you fire across. Both of these guys get hit. The guy with the Duros with the long blaster pistol fires back at you. It would hurt, but you've got armor, so his blaster pistol kind of bounces harmlessly off of one of the metal plates that you have, and you've just slagged this laundromat. All of them are out of order now. I mean, the guy with the scatter gun, he like fired off, and a couple of the pellets hit you and then hit and shattered the glass behind you and the ceiling and everything. You kept firing. We cut down to Win. You rocket skate your way down the stairs, I assume. And
not expecting stairs.
My worst enemy, stairs. And when you zip around, because you're moving quick, you're on rocket skates. They got rockets on them. You see Rado is there. She's like whipped out a pretty thick looking blaster pistol. Like it's the kind of thing that should break your wrist if it doesn't have the right kind of inertial dampeners. And she's holding. Would Win know what a Sith holocron looks like? Or does it just look like a golden triangle with some red stuff underneath?
Yeah.
She's holding a golden triangle with red stuff underneath that she draws, and she does the gangster style of like the sideways gun thing. And she's gonna fire off a couple shots at you because you just terrified her. She was sitting up on her bed and she heard a little bit and then bam, and now she's firing at you. So what do you do, Win?
Okay, I think that let me see.
If you don't want to get shot,
yeah,
I think you need to act under pressure. Now, there's one thing I will tell you.
Yes.
You don't see a blaster bolt come out of this. You see like big bright blue circles as she has this gun set to stun.
Stun. Got it.
So go ahead and act under pressure.
I think that she's going to try to dodge this first. My cool is flat, I believe.
Okay. Flat on cool.
Yeah,
it seems. I mean, I think
relatively little.
I mean, Win might be cooler than that, but statistically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's gonna be like, whoa, and try to like do one of those like limbo tricks on skates that you can do to avoid this.
Limbo lower now.
Yes, awesome. So that's a 9. So on act under pressure.
Yeah, act under pressure. 7 to 9. GM gives you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. You can duck under the stun, but it's gonna hurt. Like you pull something maybe, and I'm gonna say you get 1 harm AP from the doing of this wild maneuver. And also, if you go through with it, I think you like slam into her, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I think, yeah, that's fine. She's like, oh, it's been a while since I did that. I was
You like tackle her back onto her bed, and her gun goes flying, and yeah, you're kind of on top of her for a moment, and she looks at you, and we'll cut away to Yuka. You finished off these guys. Kiana does not come back into this room after hearing a blaster carbine and everything that's going. The Kiana is like, I'm going to find another egress. So you have free movement to head down if you so wish. Leilu says, we have to be careful.
I think like we're walking by. Yuka looks down, grabs a scatter gun with one foot, kicks it up into Lilu's hands. She has her like desperately catching it, trying to point it like the right way, and
Nice.
just begins. And I think then she begins to like takes in a breath, smells the rocket, the propellant. Oh shit! And begins running down the path.
Nice. Cool. So Yuka, you come down, you see that Win has knocked Rado down, and Rado right now is desperately reaching around, try to grab a vibro knife. Win. And yeah, so you hear the low hum of the vibro knife activating because she's like, oh, I'm going to get killed. I need to kill people back first. Kill them back first. That's all the stuff going on in her frantic thoughts right now. We cut outside to the Van Zop fight. Van, you've got a pretty stout Gamorrean who's grabbed hold of your wrist. What are you doing as they are going to try to overpower you now?
Oh, I mean, clearly, like let out a scream of pain and then lash out, right? Like instinctively, which now is the big whammy.
Oh, nice. Oh, let's do that. Yeah, the big whammy? Yes, you do. Oh my,
yes.
You can use your powers to kick some shebs. Roll plus tech instead of tough. 2 harm, close, obvious, ignore armor.
Yes, so that's what I do. I get a 9.
Oh man. So on a yeah, that's you guys will swap harm. So I think he does.
Crushes my wrist again, and I scream out, and I think I even drop the sword, right? And he starts to laugh, and then suddenly he's just like thrown across the thing, right?
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So take another harm to your wrist. So you're definitely going to need to get that looked at, and then you throw him back. Gamorrean slams in, falls to the ground, and then like a piece of hot dog just falls out of his mouth because he's in big pain.
Oh, that
Zop.
one that's running up to me.
Yeah,
you know,
there's one guy who's running up to you, and he kind of stops for a second.
Yellow eyes or something, right?
Totally yellow eyes. Yes, and he stops for a second, and then he beats feet. Like he's out. He's not dealing with this. He's seen the hollows. He watched Hearts of the Force all the way through, and he saw all the crazy stuff they could do. So Zop, you're dealing with a Wookiee who you thought you were setting Van up for a back attack, but that didn't come through. And then the Wookiee growls,
"You will die now."
That is the translator that comes through.
Yep. Zop,
it's
is
peeled off the front of your chest plate.
Oh, like they're on top of me?
You guys are standing. It's just, it's got enough leverage to where it like holds the back part and it just peels it off.
Well, they haven't taken off my disruptor rifle.
I know they
haven't. So Zop is going to quickly, throw the sword to Kel. Sorry, Van. Sorry. Throw the sword over. Honest mistake. Kel's a previous character. So Zop throws a sword over to Van and then like reaches down and brings the disruptor rifle up.
Kick some shebs.
which is a super illegal weapon.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's +1. Go. That is an 8.
Oh, that's just perfect. It means you guys are going to swap harm.
Yep. I do 4 harm with the disruptor rifle.
Yeah.
It's loud, and it's
Yeah,
also
this Wookiee's
super
dead.
illegal.
This Wookiee's dead, but this Wookiee does what it does. Zop. No, I'm not going to go super gory. Trust me. I know everything. What he does though is he pokes his finger. I imagine Rhodians have similar musculature and skeletal. Pokes his finger here and reaches and snatches the collarbone to just snap it.
That's 2, 3 harm. Which is
2 harm.
2. And I'm guessing that's AP because they took off my chest, so that makes it 3. At what point do we take trauma?
Great question. So you take trauma whenever it would be in the 4 range.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the Wookiee explodes into a cloud of dust.
They're just gone. And that's when the other, because remember there were 5. 1 Gamorrean, 1 guy who just ran away, a Wookiee, 2 more. The 2 were like doing that thing of like the guys in a Bruce Lee fight of like, I'm gonna wait and get my thing in. And they just saw a Wookiee get disrupted, and they're gone. They're just like, they don't even look to each other to check in because they don't care if the other guy, because they just need to be faster than the other guy. And there is this foot race going the absolute other way.
And Zappa let out a Rhodian war cry as they run, and he holds onto that shoulder.
Nice. And like maybe somebody later on in post-production goes in and has the translator droid that it was wearing translate for whatever Zop just growled, but I'm not that witty right this moment, and we're short on time. So we cut back inside. Yuka, you come in as Wynn is dealing with your quarry who needs to be kept alive, but she doesn't know that, who has a vibroblade and is now trying to like slash and keep you back, Wynn. What do you do, Wynn?
And is it okay if I swapped out one of my moves? Or I had trust me before instead of the let's get out of here, I think. Is it okay? I don't know if she counts as a normal person, but I think Wynn's instinct is going to be like, we're not trying to kill you. We're not trying to kill you. Actually, no, we're not. Nobody's trying to harm anybody. I just need you to come with us quietly. My Thorian friend is full of rage at all of your friends and you. So if you don't, things could go sideways.
Okay, awesome. So you can use trust me.
Yeah.
You'll be rolling with charm. If you fail, she knows who Yuka is.
Okay.
And if you fail, that will have a strong influence on her reaction.
Okay, excellent. Hey, it's a 9.
Nice. Do you want to call for aid to push that to a 10, or are you good with the 7 to 9? They'll do it, but the keeper chooses one.
Yeah. Yes. It's fine to just have you choose one.
Okay. So she'll ask you a hard question first. She says, swear to me you won't let Yuka, the blue cultivator, kill me.
I think Wynn just kind of like looks at Yuka, like gauging. Does Yuka have a strong opinion about this one way or another?
I think there's this sort of like what would be just sounds like just gruffling, snuffling, and you realize Yuka's laughing. Like, oh, I never intended to kill you. There's many ways I could keep you around without killing you. But if Wynn is keeping you as her captive, her rules go.
Okay. So
for some reason that's less good. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Wynn nods like, yep, she won't kill you.
Sweet. So she drops the vibro knife and she has the artifact with her. And I think we'll just like cliffhanger and we'll resolve this early on. The last thing I want to like seed in is a quick scene, like post-credit scene, and then I promise it'll be fast. We see Kiana enter this dimly lit area She comes in, she kind of ducks her head down and says, they got Rado. They got Rado and the artifact. Yuka was with them. And that's when we see the hookah smoking hut. Look at Kiana. The Ithorian lives. Kiana says, yes. Yes. Go and take care of it. So, end of session. Did you conclude the current hunt? You did. Did you make the Bounty Hunters Guild happy or satisfied?
We
I
didn't
think
kill,
so.
We didn't kill her.
Did you learn something new and important about the galaxy?
The pesky chair.
Oh, there we go. Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
I think we learned a lot about Yuka just now.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I'm very willing to give, if you get there first, I follow your rules. Or like, if you.
I dig that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
and the whoever these people are, they know of the Ithorian. Like
Mhm.
I think Zop learned there might be a more self-involved hunter than himself in Van.
Honestly, Van's unwillingness to play nice at any point is good to know.
Vicious. Awesome. That is 2 XP for everyone. And you were successful in capturing Rado. I'm not going to say you don't get the bounty. You get the bounty the bounty back alive. So that's 8 bounty, which means that each of you get 2 bounty. You can spend that at the beginning and downtime of the next session. I'd love to, I know we're very near the end, so if anybody needs to go at the end, that's totally cool, but I'd love to do a round of stars and wishes. Wishes we'll begin with, that's feedback of, hey, I definitely want X to happen in the next 2 sessions, or it could be, I'm a little confused about a particular part of the rule set. I wish we could get that clarified by next session. Who'd like to go first for wishes?
I can go first for wishes if yeah. So what my big wish is kind of for myself. I'd like to play the loose cannon but not be too disruptive, like so when these things, I don't want it to overwhelm like the narrative, you know what I mean? Like we only have 5 minutes for the thing because I've started a bar fight with someone over something trivial, that kind of, you know what I mean? And otherwise I think I'd like to see us make use of the make a plan move, to sort of like, feels like a natural way to sort of like get into our bounties, like once we've got the basic picture, like make a plan and then see how it goes horribly wrong, right? Like, oh, that's where they've got the secret blaster turret, or oh god, they've got an ATST, that kind of thing.
I like make a plan. I stole it from Zombie World. I've seen it used in last month's Bounty of the Week, and I felt like it worked really well to just jump you right into the middle of cool stuff without having to do a whole lot of planning, because you just come up with I'm going to be sneaky, I'm going to use tech, I'm going to just kick some ass, and then you roll a stat and you're in the middle of it, so you guys don't have to do a whole lot of the Shadowrunny style. So yeah, I'm into that. Is that it?
That's it. That's for me. That's it.
Thank
for
you.
me.
Would like to go next for wishes.
I just wish to see. I want to see more of the inner party banter. Like I like finding out like how we interact together, and I personally want to see this hut as a like new bonsai tree decoration, but we'll see where this goes.
Sweet. I like it, Sire. Danielle or Greg?
No, I think it just seconding like the inter-party banter / bouncing off each other more. Of that is great. I guess it's kind of like it would be part of my stars. I really loved getting the package from Larse, and like how that is so like, I guess a wish is like to kind of keep that either popping up, or maybe I assume we'll be back on Black Orchard at some point.
Yep,
but, like,
we're going to pick up on Black Orchard, I think.
oh, okay. Yeah. I would love to kind of like develop, because I sort of popped a drive in, but I wanted something more specific. So I may shift my drive to be something like either become notorious enough that, or find some way to own the Rocket Skate team myself and wrest it back from the branding. And that or just like make Lars say sorry, but he doesn't feel like a total villain to me, so I kind of like that sort of ambiguous vibe.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. I'm glad you're not upset that I made him like, oh, he gave you a real nice thing, and he's just
no. I love that. I love that idea of like, I sent you flowers and like you're mad at them, but you also like them, but it's bad, but you want to fix it, like that whole deal.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, Danielle. Greg, what about you? Wishes?
I'm looking forward to Zop probably beginning to distrust the Tanwa clan. Trying to collect a Sith artifact is probably a no-go in Zop. So that was a fun twist. And what's the artifact? Oh, it's a holocron. I'm not so sure about turning that over to my clan. I don't think that thing should exist at all, and I definitely don't want Van to have it. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the rest of those bounties on the bounty board. They all were good, and I'm excited we got one done in the first session. So
awesome! I'm very happy to see that you guys like that. And yeah, well, I said we're going to start off in Black Orchard. I think if you guys are cool with it, because of the side thing that Zop is supposed to do, and the fact that the Van would probably want that artifact, and also you can get a bonus for the artifact. Like, I'd like to leave that unsettled so that we can do it in. Okay, good. Just making sure. Awesome. Greg, you strategically went last for wishes. That means you get to go first for stars. So what stars would you like to hand out?
Oh boy, I'm so enjoying this. I love all the characters we created. I super love Win as a Star Wars roller derby girl. My wife was a roller derby girl. I've played a wrestling character who's a roller derby girl. I'm super excited. And yeah, I love Yuka's vengeance. I was reading through the wronged playbook a little bit, and that is so cool. As like a pure vengeance character, I'm looking forward to keeping that in check, or not as needed. And then I like Van a lot as a Sithy sort of, can Zop turn him to the light side kind of thing, or how Gray, maybe we'll see. Yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I really love the session we played, and I'm so happy we got to a good finish at the end of it. And of course, Rich, thank you for playing Bounty. It's always fun. The NPCs again are absolutely ridiculous. I liked the Ratataki.
Yay.
Yep, Lilu.
I'm glad you like Lilu, because she's now around you guys for now.
And Larse returns. I love Larse.
I love Larse. I love Larse. Larse is fun. Awesome. I'm glad you like that. Danielle, what stars would you like to hand out?
Oh man, just I think stars to everybody. I'm really enjoying the vibe that everybody has set up. I loved Van's going in and sitting down on purpose and they're like, I dare anyone to talk to me about this, and then like they did, of course, and it was like beautiful. But I do think that there's, and I understand you're trying to strike a balance and stuff, but I didn't think it was overwhelming. I do enjoy when sometimes players are like, I'm going to purposefully not make things okay so that it leaves opening for other people to make things okay and smooth over, or like gives the GM complications. So I appreciate that vibe. I really like Yuka's like, I'm gonna shoot everything at any point, like willingness to just like unleash destruction, but then also like the way you described the Ithorian laugh was just so fun, like the gruff. It was really, really cool. So yeah, and the characters, and I love the jacket. I love the Larse sparkly branded jacket. That is fantastic. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. What about you, Sawyer? Got any stars?
I really like just Zop feels like just disconnected enough that it's like I want to see how the clan and the Zop interact with us as well. As it feels like a good balance. Win is exactly what I want. Like I was looking at the wronged and the trainee, you know, like the perfect energy combinations, and Win is exactly what I would have wanted out of a trainee. So I'm glad that rocket, the roller derby way into the lair was perfect. And again, like Van, you know, here's this huge cup. Well, it'll take a while to fill it up with spit, but I'm willing to try.
Oh God.
And just finding out that there are the Kiana is living on, and that is terrifying. I love how she's become like a commonplace occurrence in this galaxy.
I had to stick a Kiana in. That was totally fan service for you, Sawyer. And yeah, she's of course going to show up again too. Sweet, thank you, Sawyer. Will, what about you? Got any left?
Yes, I just want to say I really like that we've got a good person, like a truly good person. Slightly, you know, the naive, slightly kind of like hopeful, like we don't want to hurt anybody. We're just doing the thing. Here, sir, here's a credit. I loved the fact that you've tossed a credit back to the Trandoshan. I very much enjoy that moderating and kind of like plucky, and it's perfect, I think.
Yeah.
And Yuka, the Ithorian wronged is a great concept in the first place. I have to say that they was just barging right into that laundromat and then it was just like could have come straight out of Hook Cartel, I think, frankly. It was a sort of like, this is the Hook Cartel safe house. And, oh God, it's the cultivator. Yeah. And Zop, I really enjoy that Zop is now like the veteran voice of reason within this crew. As opposed to the shady weirdo who makes everything more complicated in our last run. Yeah. And Rich, you know, I always feel like everywhere we go in Star Wars things are part of the Star Wars world. You know, everything always feels very thematic and together, and I can imagine it. I really enjoyed the pesky chair. And you know, I had to, when you were like, do I sit down? I'm like, well, yes, of course I sit down. Like,
Of course,
you can't go to the pesky chair and not sit down.
Love it.
The board, I really like the board and the options that you've got there and the choices. So I would too love to see all of them, really, but it's interesting.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
I forgot to star.
Yes. Oh yes.
I forgot to star Zop for the like swagger of like I won't be going anywhere, like, and the vibro blade, the vibro rapier thing that you guys both have, like that, and then also to Greg for like, I think you should go do this, you know, kind of like just kind of making sure that other players like, okay, let's make this spotlight this person there and that person there, because I know it can be like when you have 4 people, it's like, what do we do? And everyone's like, I'm gonna do. So it was just like
if the 3 of us walked in there, it wasn't gonna go well.
Yeah, but it was just such a fun narrative thing. So yeah.
Awesome. Great job. Really enjoyed these characters, the history you guys worked out. Like, to me, I realize it takes up a lot of time to do the histories back and forth, but I get to be audience and just like watch you guys bounce off and forth and just like take a few notes. And I know I can go back and look at it later, and it's always fun to bring back. So thank you all for being so fully committed to making your characters super interesting and tied together in fun ways. I'm delighted, and I know that I'm going to be sad that this is only 3 sessions, but we're going to make them 3 awesome sessions. So thanks all so much for playing, and we'll see you next week.